state of New Hampshire. Many of you have known Maggie for a number of years, and it's my honor and pleasure to recognize the governor of the state of New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan.
Good morning, and thank you, Mark, for your introduction and for your unyielding advocacy at the AFL-CIO on behalf of the workers of New Hampshire. It is great to see you, Senator Shaheen, this morning, and Congresswoman Custer. Thank you so much for being here. To my friend Kevin Cash, it is great to have you back in the state, and thanks so much for being here. And yes, Mark, this is one very, very cute grandchild. This is a great picture. Thank you as well to all of the dedicated labor officials and leaders who are with us today. The labor movement in New Hampshire has meant so much to the working men and women of our state and our families, and has helped build one of the region's strongest economies. You are standing up and fighting for the needs of our workers every day, and our state is stronger because of your efforts. In particular, I also want to congratulate Peter Roth, who is up here with us at the head table, for the well-deserved honor you are receiving today. Your work to protect workers when manufacturers close down has been incredibly important over the years. They are lucky to have you in their corner. I also want to congratulate this year's Scholarship Award winners, Hillary Gorgel, Brandon LeMay, and Rishi Patel. Keep up the hard work. We look forward to your future accomplishments. And thanks as well go to our Commissioner of Labor, Jim Craig, and our Commissioner of the Department of Employment Security, George Kapadas, for your efforts to ensure the safety and well-being of our workers. And most importantly, thank you to all of the steady, dedicated, tireless workers of the Granite State. You make up the highly skilled workforce that attracts innovative businesses and allows them to succeed. You are the ones who make our communities strong and protect the well-being of our people. You are the ones who are driving our economy forward towards a bright future. I know that you believe, as I do, that every citizen, regardless of circumstance, should have the opportunity to hold a good job, work hard, raise a family, and share in the high quality of life we enjoy in New Hampshire. When our workers have all of these opportunities, our people become empowered, and our state grows stronger. We understand that the best way to ensure long-term economic prosperity is with a thriving middle class, leading the way as the driver of our economy. But we all know that the last legislature took a different and extremely reckless approach, deeply slashing investments in the priorities that drive innovation, that create jobs, and that support the well-being of New Hampshire's workers. They tried to take the state backwards. Well, I am proud to stand before you as your governor and say that with your support, we have been able to come together and have begun to reverse the devastating cuts and misguided policies of the last legislature. We have been able to advance the priorities that will create good jobs and ensure that our citizens are prepared for good jobs that can support working families. Through our bipartisan budget, I'm confident that we have set the foundation for a more innovative economic future with a strong, growing middle class. It focuses on encouraging innovation and helping our workers develop the skills they need to succeed in the 21st century economy. We were able to make higher education more accessible and affordable by restoring funding for the university and community college systems in exchange for them freezing in-state tuition, the first tuition freeze at our state university system in 25 years. impact of that freeze, that is 22,000 young people in the state of New Hampshire and their families who will go to college without seeing a tuition increase this fall. It's a very important start. To create jobs, we strengthened economic development activities, increased travel and tourism promotion, doubled our research and development tax credit. Our budget also makes significant progress on the priorities that are critical for improving the health and well-being of our people and communities, helping to keep New Hampshire one of the safest, healthiest, and most livable states in the country. It invests in the areas that help working families succeed, recognizing that our economic success and our ability to seize the promise of innovation also depend on our efforts to maintain our high quality of life. We put more troopers on the road, restored the CHINS program, strengthened our strained mental health system, and fully funded the wait list for services for people with acquired brain disorders and developmental disabilities. In addition, to support New Hampshire's workers, our New Hampshire working plan is making our unemployment insurance dollars go further, helping people stay on the job and get back to work. We've provided for work share to avoid layoffs, allowing workers to collect unemployment benefits during on-the-job training, providing workforce readiness assessments and training for workers to upgrade their skills. We've added a Pathways to Work program to help unemployed workers start new businesses and create new jobs. And the paychecks of hard-working Granite Staters are no longer being threatened by so-called right to work, or what's really right to work for us. This was all possible because we put the needs of working families first and focused on common sense, constructive problem solving. We've made real progress, but we all know there is more work to be done. Our economic recovery is still fragile, and we must continue our efforts to ensure that all of our working families are able to succeed. We must continue to enforce existing laws to prevent misclassifications so that workers can receive the full benefits and protections that they deserve. I was proud to work with so many of you to help write these laws, and I am working to ensure that they are fully enforced by my administration. We must develop a modern transportation infrastructure and put our people to work building bridges and roads that will allow our economy to thrive. Many of you were with us when the Memorial Bridge reopened just last month in Kittery and Portsmouth, right? And one of the iron workers who had helped work on that bridge came up to me and said, you know, Governor, this was a great project, and there's so much more work to be done, and we are so ready to do it. It will benefit the people of New Hampshire. It will benefit all of us to create the We must increase access to critical health care coverage by expanding Medicaid. Bring $2.5 billion into our economy, and it would provide health insurance to tens and thousands of working families in New Hampshire. We must restore New Hampshire's minimum wage law and ensure basic We have come a long way together, and if we stick together, and if we make sure that everyone's voices are heard, we can make more progress for New Hampshire's working families, ensure a strong and growing middle class, and build an even brighter, more innovative economic future for our state. You know, Mark talked about this a little bit, about the work that we all do together. I am reminded, some by my own personal experience, some by what all of you have shared with me, that what we do more than anything else as Americans and as Granite Staters and as members of the labor movement, is we bring people in from the margins, generation by generation. What our forefathers got so well, what was so revolutionary at the time, was this notion that if you honored people's individual liberty and freedom, if you gave everybody a seat and a voice, that instead of dispersing, we would come together and we would get stronger, because it unleashes every person's talent and energy. And when you do that, you come together and you not only get stronger as individuals, you get stronger economically. The United States became a force to be reckoned with economically because we all came together to do that. We were imperfect at our beginnings. We continue to be imperfect today. But each generation, we have brought people into the heart and soul of our democracy, into the heart and soul of our communities and our civic life, and we have gotten stronger. So I thank you for everything that you have already done for working families across the Granite State, and frankly, across the country. I thank you for all the hard labor that you have brought to our democratic process on behalf of the people of the Granite State. And having said all that, we still have work to do. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you as we continue to come together, to keep our economy moving forward, to strengthen our families and our communities, and to strengthen our democracy. Thank you so much.